Hey, good morning, YouTubers. There was a delay before it started recording, and so it kind of caught me unawares. But anyway, it's Saturday morning, about 7:30 a.m. on a Saturday. Today is December 14th, and anyways, I just wanted to make a video about a book that I still have about 15 pages to read, but it's just the stuff at the back, like the epilogue. But anyways, I want to show you the book. It's called Katherine's Diary. Okay, and this is about a transgender, male to female woman. Um, she, she had dysphoria all her life. She got married. Actually, she was born in 1935, and she got married, whatever, had three girls, three children, and all her life. This book talks about her, going cross-dressing and going to parties and social functions with other people, and all her life, even while she was married. And her ex-wife Diane uh, didn't like Katherine's persona for whatever reason. Although she got married to John, knowing that he had these inner desires and things. So she didn't go in like totally ignorant about it. And but anyways, the book talks about that. Anyways, it's a very good book. And eventually, Katherine became so dysphoric she just could not continue to live as a man, and so she went and she put off having surgery and all that stuff for many years, and then finally, when she was 54 years old, in February of 1989, she had the SRS surgery, and changed to living full time. Well, actually, she was actually living full time as a woman a year or two before that. And but anyways, then she talks about how this affected her marriage, and apparently after a few years, she always tried to reconcile with the wife, and but apparently the wife wasn't interested in continuing the relationship because John did not sort of like exist anymore. And so, her life is kind of tragic in a way because she was rejected by her wife, and her wife also kind of kept her away from the children too. So I mean, she does have maintain a relationship with some of the children, but it's kind of a sad story in a way because she was a good provider and for her family and loved them and wanted to keep things together. But anyways, finally, Katherine's ex-wife sought an annulment, not just a divorce, an annulment. And that's sort of like saying the marriage never existed, and that's a horrible thing. And the only reason the ex-wife did that is because apparently she was interested in getting married to a Roman Catholic, and the Roman Catholic Church would not marry them unless there was an annulment, because they wouldn't marry uh, a divorced person. So apparently, so I don't know. Maybe the church has changed since then. I have no idea, but it just goes to show you, that's another thing. I got a lot of heartburn about. I know I was raised in the Roman Catholic Church, and there was some things that they did to me personally, as far as the high school academy I was going to. They closed it a year before I could graduate high school, so I ended up going to my hometown public high school my senior year to graduate high school. So but I'm not going to get into that. But this book is very good, okay? Talks about all the things that she did, and this book won a Human Rights Award. I think the year after it was published. And Katherine's is a native of Australia, and I think that's true. And she worked in Australia as a librarian, and as I left some peanuts out for what's his name, Rocky, but he ain't showed up yet. So see, I got some peanuts on the chairs just to show you. So if he does show up while I'm doing this video, I will switch the camera over, okay? But I have to zoom in, whatever. But it's getting light out there, and I haven't seen him yet this morning. Anyways, I highly recommend this book. I got it on Amazon.com, and I learned a lot. And unfortunately, it's tragic. Some people, transition because they feel like they have to do this because of the way they are inside, and they're loving toward their family and children, but then, basically fear takes over on the part of the other family members, and they kind of reject and avoid you. And this is what has caused, some transgender women to commit suicide. So people are born this way, and society has to recognize that. I mean, sometimes we have physical or hormonal reasons when we're growing up as kids, and mental things where you don't feel comfortable in the male gender. Personally, I never knew this even existed. I had certain feelings and desires inside me I really didn't share with anybody because, it just was not even clearly defined, or I had no examples of transgender in my life. But anyways, this book is really good because this woman is like a generation ahead of me, and so, in fact, she was born the same year as my mother. Okay, so isn't that interesting? And so like it's like this woman is the same age as my mother. So that made a significant imprint in my life. So. But anyways, I highly recommend this book, and it doesn't really talk about path or anything like that. Just basically, it's a diary of her life, things she did, where she worked, and then toward the end, the last 100 pages basically talks about her coming out and getting the surgery and the things that happened in her life subsequent to that. So Katherine is still alive as far as I know, and she lives and works in Australia. And the book tells you where, but I'm not going to, So I recommend the book. It's a good book to read, especially if you're transgender. If you're related to a transgender person, it's a good book to read too, because you get to see a lot of different people's attitudes and reactions to Katherine's transition into like the role of a woman. And so anyways, that's what this video is about. I highly recommend this book. I've been spending the last few days getting this book read, and it's helped me and clear some things up in my own head about some things. So anyways, that's all I have to say. And Rocky hasn't showed up yet, so I will be making another video later today and talking about Rocky. And Rocky did a few things this week earlier, like several days ago, a couple of days ago, that were pretty interesting. And so stay tuned. All right. Love everybody. Have a good weekend. Bye.